So, today we're going to dive into this really powerful idea our source material calls the renewed legion. It's a striking metaphor, and it's designed to help us make sense of the pretty complicated spiritual world we're all trying to figure out. Let's get into it. Okay, let's start right here. Picture this scene. It's intense, a little scary, and just completely life-altering. You have a man who was completely broken, and then in a single moment, he's made whole again. This one image, this is the key to unpacking everything else we're about to talk about.
So you might be asking, how does a story from thousands of years ago have anything to do with us right now? Well, the idea here is that this story, the story of the man from Gadara, is more than just a story. It's a powerful metaphor for what happens when a soul is torn apart.
And to understand that, we've got to look at the word religion itself. Get this. It comes from the Latin word religare, which literally means to bind again. So at its very core, religion is supposed to be about reconnection, right? About being bound back together with our Creator. But as we're about to see, that binding, it can get really messy. And then you have that word he used to describe himself, legion. Now that was not a random choice of words. A Roman legion was a military force of about 6,000 soldiers. It's the perfect, chilling image for what was going on inside him. A soul shattered into thousands of warring voices, total inner chaos. I mean, just look at the state he was in. It's a walking contradiction. He was strong enough to break iron chains, but completely helpless to save himself. He was screaming, but nobody was really hearing his soul's cry. He was technically alive, but he was living among the tombs, surrounded by death. The source presents him as a perfect picture of a human heart without God, just restless, divided, and at war with itself. And this is where that ancient story just slams into our modern reality. The argument is that our world today is echoing that same cry from the tombs. I mean, think about it. We are drowning in voices and opinions, but finding real, solid truth, that feels almost impossible. We've never been more connected, but we feel less true community than ever. It's the same cry for wholeness in a world that's just getting louder and more fragmented. Which leads us to the central thesis here, the idea that religion today has become this two-faced thing. It's a bizarre paradox of real, genuine revival happening right alongside a kind of rebellion. And this strange mix is what the source calls the renewed legion. On one side, you have this absolutely incredible, hopeful movement. You see people going back to the simple, core message. They're rediscovering what it means to be compassionate, to actually serve people, to pray like they mean it. They're choosing purity over popularity. This is the renewed part. A massive group of people united by a real, living spirit, not just by old, rigid rules. But then you have the shadow side. This is where the Legion gets reborn. It's religion that's been fractured by endless online debates and doctrinal squabbles. It's been commercialized, where the stage is more important than the altar. It gets legalistic, where we judge holiness by how things look on the outside. Where the worship service is polished and perfect, but the hearts in the room are just cold. The performance is there, but the passion is gone. So let's just put it side by side, because this makes it crystal clear. We're looking at the same thing, religion, but it has two totally different faces. One is united by a shared spirit, the other is divided by arguments. One is driven by real compassion for people, the other is driven by performance and looking good. And here's the absolute bottom line. One is all about seeking a real relationship, and the other is just going through the motions, performing empty rituals. Okay, so that raises the obvious question, right? Why? How can both of these things be true at the same time? How can something so beautiful and something so broken grow up in the exact same field? Well, the source calls this the mystery of the mixture. Let's just ask the question plainly. Why is it that religion today can smell so much like authentic, beautiful faith one minute and then have this undeniable stench of hypocrisy the next? It's a tension that, let's be honest, a lot of us feel pretty deeply. The answer we're given comes from this incredibly powerful parable. The idea is simple but profound. The good stuff, the wheat, and the bad stuff, the weeds or tares, they get planted in the same field, and they're intentionally left to grow together until the very end. So what does that actually mean for us? It means the true and the false are all mixed in together. You'll find them in the same church, you'll see them on the same stage, and maybe the most humbling thought of all, you'll find them both fighting for control inside the very same human heart. And that reality, it calls for a whole lot of humility and a whole lot of discernment. So, if this messy mixture is just part of the deal, what in the world are we supposed to do? Well, this is where we shift from just diagnosing the problem to looking for the cure, to discovering what the heart of true religion really is.
And check out this definition. It's probably not what most of us would expect. It says, pure religion isn't about having the perfect theology or the most elaborate ceremonies. Nope. It's about two very practical things: taking care of the most vulnerable people around you and keeping your own heart clean. It's all about action, not just ideas. So here's how you tell the difference, boiled down to its simplest form. A ritual is just religion without a relationship. It's an empty shell. But a revival? That's religion that is driven by a relationship. That one thing, a real living connection, is what makes all the difference. It's the secret ingredient.
And this brings us right back to where we started, to a message of genuine hope. Because if that one haunted man could be so completely restored, the argument is that there's hope for the haunted, fragmented world of modern religion too. His journey becomes the roadmap for us. Step 1. A fragmented soul has a real personal encounter. Step 2. The result is complete restoration. He's calm, he's sane, he's whole, symbolized by him sitting, clothed, and in his right mind. And step 3, and this is huge, the person who's been healed doesn't just go back to normal. They become a living, breathing testimony of that change.
And so we are all left standing at this crossroads. It's the critical choice for faith in our time. Are we going to chase influence, fame, and bigger platforms? Or are we going to seek quiet intimacy with God? Are we going to perform rituals, or are we going to pursue a real relationship?
The answer, the source tells us, is to get back to that very first image we saw. The key to healing the legion, whether it's in the world or in our own hearts, is to return to that simple, sacred posture, just sitting, listening, and being made whole.
And we'll end with this. The ultimate hope isn't in fixing our broken systems or winning arguments online. The real hope, the thing that can actually put all the broken pieces back together, is an internal reality. It's this profound truth: Christ in us, the hope of glory.